Brian Kenny and Chris Young here. We're in Los Angeles Angels camp post Shohei Ohtani. But Chris, we've been looking around. There's a lot to like with this club.
Yeah, it's a lot of promise with this team. Looking forward to the show today. I know we're talking to Ron Washington, Mike Trout, the young core that the Angels have. A lot of exciting things happening for this team right now.
Trout, Rendon, both healthy, ready to go, and a young core is emerging. 30 clubs in 15 days starts now.
Music. Last big games begin.
30 clubs in 15 days. We continue along, and here in Tempe, Arizona, Los Angeles Angels move on year one post Shohei Ohtani, but still with an emerging young core and still with the superstars at the very top. Speaking of which, Mike Trout is here. Brian Kenny, Chris Young, Mike, it's great to see you. What are your general thoughts coming in here? Again, after everything that happened last year, rough season, what are your thoughts coming in?
Yeah, I knew it's exciting for sure. I knew it was going to be a lot different because, you know, when you lose a guy like Shohei, you know, what he obviously does on the field, but he has quite a group off the field as well. It's a little bit quieter in the clubhouse, but, you know, we've had a great start to camp, and we're eager to get going.
The main thing is you physically. How are you physically? Can you get out there, roll out, and do 145, 150
That's
games?
the plan. That's the plan. You know, I think coming into camp, I'm always feeling good. Just, you know, looking back to last year, you know, just a freak accident. It's my best my body's felt, you know, my lower half in a few years. So we were on a good program. You know, so try to stick with that this year.
When I think of your time here, your career here with the Angels, you've been 5 managers, hundreds of teammates, myself being one of them. You've been the constant. With the new regime that's coming in, what leads to optimism coming into this season?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, you know, when you bring, like you said, when you bring a different manager in, he obviously brings different dynamics. You know, all the managers I've had, you know, I liked them. You know, they were great managers. You know, nothing on them. I love playing for all of them. You know, just when you bring a new group in, you don't know what to expect. But you know, when I first came to camp, you know, the authentic from Wash. You know, as soon as I heard that Wash, you know, got the job, I got a lot of texts and a lot of calls from ex-players, some players that, you know, played with him and that had him coach him, that just said that they love him. So, you know, I was really excited to get into camp, and, you know, it was like the day he signed, or, you know, he was the manager. He flew out with his guys, came right to the house, and it was, you know, had a great conversation with him on the process and everything, and I'm looking forward to get it going. And, you know, like I said, it's just very exciting, you know, these first couple weeks in camp, and I'm excited.
You spent a long time being the best player in baseball. Not many people in the history of the sport can say that. After the last few years, there's talk about who's the best player in baseball.
Yeah.
So what does that mean to you? Did that, after you had that for a while, did that mean something to you, or is that something you don't deal with?
I mean, it's cool to have that you know, when people say that, and, you know, the rankings and stuff come out. But I know if I could play a full season, I'm still gonna be the best player. So that's just the way I feel. That's my mentality since I was playing in the Little League when I first came up, and you know, I'm going with that.
Well, we hope you get there. Want to see it for 150. 150 is good,
Absolutely.
right?
Sounds great to
I don't
me.
say
Sure.
157 or 150. No, 150 would do it.
150 is real good.
Mike,
for sure.
Good luck to you this year.
All right, we go.
Mike, of course, anchors a lineup that I think, Chris, could surprise people. Here is what we project as their starting lineup. A lot of good young players, but let's start here. It's not an insignificant question saying, Mike, how are you feeling? How are you physically? Almost half their payroll, Chris, is tied up in Mike Trout and Anthony Rendon. Those two guys have to play. Those two guys have to produce for this team to compete.
I think as long as these guys stay away from any significant injuries. Trout's injury last year was a fluke injury. I mean, a hamate bone, that could literally happen to anybody. So if you have a couple soft tissue injuries to where you miss a week here, a week there, I think they can live with that, but you can't live with any long-lasting injury from either one of those guys.
Again, Rendon and Trout have had trouble staying on the field the last 3 years, but I think what is exciting, we talk about this all the time, and I think this is where it's at in developing a team and making a team into something that can be a contender. And I don't think the Angels are that far away. Take a look at some of the players that are 25 and younger on this club. Mickey Moniak was a first pick overall. He emerged last year, slugged nearly 500. Logan O'Hoppe, promising young catcher. Nolan Shanuel is a 400 on base guy. Zach Neto, awareness skills through the roof at shortstop. Joe Adell is still young. Chris,
Right.
I really think this is where it's at. And I think the future could very well be bright for the Angels.
I absolutely agree. You have a lot of players, all the young guys you just named. They all pretty much had breakout seasons coming out the gate. Everybody had a different path. Mickey Moniak's path is a little different than Logan O'Hoppe's, but they all still have that hunger about them. They all are still trying to prove themselves and really fight for a position, especially you mentioned Joe Adell in the outfield. There's still spots up for grabs to where whoever comes out the gate strong can really earn an everyday opportunity, and I think that's motivating them right now.
Yeah, Zach Neto is a big part of it. Again, he's a good-looking shortstop. I spoke to Zach Neto, talked about his expectations this year.
You know, we're expected to win. You know, we have a good clubhouse now to where, you know, we have a lot of young guys, you know, a lot of veteran guys, you know, to make sure they're keeping us on the right track. But, you know, we want to win. You know, we all have that same mentality in the clubhouse. You know, when we step foot in between those lines, you know, Wash has done a really good job of kind of changing the vibe of how it's been the past couple of years. It makes it easier to come out here every day to make sure we get our work in, you know, have a purpose of what we do, and, you know, just go out there and have fun.
Watching you on the field, your baseball awareness stands out. Where does that come from?
Oh, it's just, you know, what I've been taught growing up. You know, I've been taught by a really good coaching crew growing up. You know, we've been known for, you know, winning a lot of ball games. You know, ever since high school, college, you know, I've just been kind of getting better and better at it by the day. So, you know, just now when I'm in the biggest stage, you know, it just feels like second nature to me. You know, just being able to see the field before the play happens and, you know, just being able to know where the ball goes.
Well, on MLB Now, we do baseball-y plays and unbaseball-y plays. And I want you to know, when they say, hey, we have a Zach Neto play from late last night, it's baseball-y. It's not some boneheaded play, I know. It's going to be something sharp, and your awareness skills are out there. Best of luck this year.
Thank you,
I know
I
it's
appreciate it.
a pleasure watching you. Good luck, Zach.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Chris, let's go to you.
Thanks, BK. Here with right fielder, outfielder, Mickey Moniak, man. First of all, congratulations on a huge breakout season last year. It had to be gratifying for you. All the hard work, dedication finally coming to fruition, getting that opportunity and take advantage of it.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, man, it's, you know, the game, it's a lot of ups and downs, and you just kind of got to ride the wave and, you know, take the good with the bad and kind of learn from everything that you go through. And I think last year was kind of just a culmination of that. You know, it was a good year, just looking to build off it going into this year.
You got yourself in the right spot. The team is in the right spot. Nothing but good things moving forward, man. BK, back to you. Who you got over there?
Chris, thank you. We're with Logan O'Hoppe, catcher for the Angels from Long Island, the pride of Long Island, New York. Congratulations to you.
I appreciate that.
You know I'm from Long Island as well.
I do
You should know your Long Island history, all right? Can I quiz you a little bit here? We have a rapid-fire test. All right. This Baseball Hall of Famer was also the best football player in Suffolk County as a high school running back.
Craig Biggio.
Craig Biggio is right. This Oyster Bay resident led the Rough Riders and would later become president of the United States.
Teddy Roosevelt.
Teddy Roosevelt is right. This Hicksville High School graduate is famous for singing Piano Man.
Billy Joel.
You did know. What is the easternmost point of Long Island?
Montauk. Haven't been to Montauk. I think I'm the only person from Long Island hasn't
But
been
you know,
to Montauk.
Montauk Point
That
is
is
correct.
way out
You
there,
should
yeah.
drive out there. It's beautiful. This world-renowned poet in the 1800s, he wrote Leaves of Grass, has a high school named after him on Long Island.
Walt Whitman.
Walt Whitman is right. That's it. That's the kill shot right there. Nice job. Logan, congratulations. You know your
Thank
Long
you.
Island history.
Appreciate
We'll
it.
talk actual baseball with you and your catching. Hope you have a breakout season this year. Coming up next, all right?
you.
We'll be back. 30 clubs in 15 days.
At Dots, an ordinary pretzel just isn't enough, so they add savory seasoning and tempting buttery flavor into every delicious twist. Now that's enough to make you build an all-pretzel pantry with a biometric security system. Dots, sensationally seasoned pretzels.
Everything in moderation. Except for popcorn. Popcorn doesn't count. Skinny Pop. Enjoy endlessly.
The itch and rash of moderate to severe eczema disrupts my skin night and day. Despite treatment, it's still not under control. But now I have Rinvoq. Rinvoq is a once-daily pill that reduces the itch and helps clear the rash of eczema fast. Some Rinvoq patients felt significant itch relief as early as 2 days. Some achieved dramatic skin clearance as early as 2 weeks. And many taking Rinvoq saw clear or almost clear skin.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB. Serious infections and blood clots, some fatal. Cancers, including lymphoma and skin. Heart attack, stroke, and GI tears occurred. People 50 and older with a heart disease risk factor have an increased risk of death. Serious allergic reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Help heal your painful skin. Disrupt the itch and rash of eczema. Talk to your doctor about Rinvoq.
Learn how AbbVie can help you save.
We know that Spectrum Mobile means amazing value. For $29.99, you get unlimited talk, text, data, nationwide 5G, coast-to-coast coverage, speed boost. It's just a lot of great stuff. So I made this. Everything that's on it, you get, and you can spin it.
But no matter where it lands, you already get everything on it.
Exactly.
So you don't have to spin it.
You know what? Let's just forget about the wheel.
Spin the wheel. Spin the wheel.
Get more with your mobile. Get Spectrum Mobile.
You get that? You get that?
Add an unlimited line for $29.99. Call, click, or visit a Spectrum store today.
My husband's my biggest hero. After 4 Army combat deployments, he made it back home unharmed.
Then, one night, I was hit head-on by an irresponsible driver, and I was badly injured.
When I saw my husband in the hospital, I knew we were going to need a very good lawyer. That's when I called attorney Dan Newland. Going with Dan was definitely the best decision.
Dan went to war for me. He got me $2.3 million in my pocket. Thank you, Dan.
Boys from the farm step up to the big stage on MLB's Spring Breakout Game. It's a night filled with the game's future stars as the Marlins' hottest prospects square off with the Cardinals' up-and-comers. MLB's Spring Breakout Game, Friday, 2 Eastern on MLB Network.
30 clubs in 15 days here in Tempe, Arizona. Spring training home of the Los Angeles Angels, coming off a disappointing season. Brian Kenny back with Chris Young. Let's be truthful in our assessment. Look, the Angels last year decided to keep Shohei Ohtani, and then they even pushed all in at the trade deadline. It did not work. It crashed in spectacular fashion, and yet the reason we're here looking and being fairly optimistic is we see that young core emerging, and with different expectations, it could be a very different season. All right, that said, Shohei Ohtani was their best pitcher last year. The pitcher and the hitter are both gone this year, and there are some holes. You wonder where their innings are going to come from, Chris.
When you see the staff now, and especially with speaking with Ron Washington, what the pitching staff needs to do is really a change of culture. They were 11th in team ERA last year. That's just not going to put yourself in a position to where you can get 6-7 innings out of your staff to get to your bullpen. Last year, their pitchers are going 4 innings on a regular basis, 4 1/3 on a regular basis, to where now you have to go to your bullpen earlier, and it really just leaves a gaping hole, you know, to really give yourself a real opportunity to come back in a ball game. So the pitching staff has to change the culture just a little bit.
Who can step up? Who can emerge as a guy who can give them those solid 170, 180 innings?
Well, they have multiple players who can step up. Reed Detmers has had success. Tyler Anderson, Patrick Sandoval, all of these guys are just a year removed from having really good seasons out there. So, in my opinion, all of those guys collectively have to step up to help replace the production from a Shohei Ohtani. So, with speaking with Reed Detmers, I talked to him specifically about what is the culture change that needs to happen with the pitching staff. This is what he had to say.
Yeah, just throw strikes is the main thing. That's kind of been beat down our throats all spring. It's ever since day one. It's like throw strikes, get ahead in the count. And every bullpen, they're honest about it. They're throwing strikes. It's kind of just like, don't worry about stuff. Your stuff will come. Just get everything in the zone.
Let's jump to the end of 2024. At the end of 2024, the Angels pitching staff will be
right at the top. I think we're a lot of people don't know about our staff, but I truly think we'll be at the top. We got it's a pretty young staff. A lot of the guys are looking really good this spring, and from where we finished in 2022, it's like we're towards the top then. There's no reason why we can't get back up there.
Absolutely. So finish in 2022 strong, down in 2023, back up in 2024. BK, a lot to prove for these guys. They're ready for the challenge. Back to you.
Chris, thank you so much. We're with Logan O'Hoppe. We're talking about the young players and the emerging core here. Logan is a big part of that. How healthy are you, Logan? I know you had injury problems last year. How are you physically now?
100%, 100%. Shoulder feels brand new, and thanks to these guys in there to help me get back sooner than expected. But I feel great. I feel really good, and excited to get rolling.
You can play a full season then. You're
Full
ready to
season,
go.
full season.
You slugged almost 500 last year. You showed a lot of power. You know, how can you develop that this year? What's going to happen?
I think continue sticking my strengths. I worked on a lot in the offseason as far as things like as holes and things I needed to work on, and put a lot of good work in this winter and feel like I got a lot done, and it was really productive. So I'm looking to expand on that a little bit, but as far as the other stuff goes, just looking to stick to my strengths.
Can you show me your catching style? We're going to have to back up a little bit here. You get weight. I was watching you yesterday and again. Watching you. I don't know if I've seen anybody so flexible to get down the way you do and get your leg down. What stance do you do and why?
I haven't prepped, so I maybe a little bit tighter. But I'm been working on going to a knee down too. So I'll go to a knee and then kind of sit, and this is my foundation. So I work from that a lot. I've been working on it with runners on base too. It's a little uncomfortable being a first time and being on a knee with guys on base, but it's always a work in progress. And
why do that? That's the thing. Like, why do is it harder to get runners, and why do that?
I think it's less on my legs, one, so then it allowed me to catch more games. But two, I feel like it's just another tool I can get, whether it's getting strikes at the bottom of the zone or even being more athletic from a knee. I know that people think it's maybe a lazier quote unquote position, but I actually do feel pretty athletic from it.
Okay. How about catching runners? You know, can you get up in time and get runners?
I can. I feel like I'm getting more efficient as I work on it. But yeah, I do feel really good throwing down from a knee.
Okay. Is it framing pitches too? Like, how much do you concentrate on that? Because I've heard, like, guys who get down low, you try to frame up and try to get those strikes.
I've worked on it a lot. I also think that being from a knee helps me be more still, and I know pitchers like to see less movement too, so that's another advantage to using that.
We're proud of you on Long Island.
Appreciate
Good luck
it.
this year with the club.
Thank you.
All right. Chris, back to you.
Here with the new Los Angeles Angels manager, Ron Washington. Looking forward to catching up with him next.
Spring is here. Start your morning with Hot Stove and get the latest news from every camp.
Florida, Arizona, there's a ton to talk about.
Hot Stove is all over spring training. Weekdays at 9 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network.
Hey y'all, so I just downloaded the Experian app because I wanted to check my FICO score, but it does so much more. This thing shows you your FICO score, you can get your credit card recommendations, and it shows you ways to save money.
Do so much more than get your FICO score. Download the Experian app now.
Having health insurance is important. So if anyone in your family has Medicaid or CHIP, listen up. Check the mail for your renewal form. Complete the form. And mail it back right away, so you don't lose your coverage. If you do lose your coverage, visit healthcare.gov to see if you're eligible to enroll in a low-cost, quality health plan. Healthcare.gov.
Honey. NyQuil Severe Honey. Powerful cold and flu relief with a dreamy honey taste. NyQuil Honey. The honeylicious nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, fever, best sleep with a cold medicine.
Welcome to Lobster Fest. Is your party ready?
Ready to attack this new lobster and shrimp stack? Ready for your lobster lover's dream to come true? They're 2 of 10 lobster creations only at Lobster Fest. Plus cheddar bays for days. But Lobster Fest won't last, so hurry in.
Liberty Mutual customized my car insurance and I saved hundreds.
That's great.
I know, I've been telling everyone.
Liberty. Liberty.
How many people did you tell? Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, liberty, liberty. Liberty.
This is your invitation to experience the elevation of electrification and some of the best offers of the year on select models at the Invitation to Lexus sales event.
The overtime went into overtime. What do? You turn to DiGiorno to be MVP. MV Pizza. Fresh baked taste. The win and move. It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
If you feel like things don't add up right now, you're not alone. So we've lowered the price on hundreds of your favorite products. Because when the cost of living goes up, we find new ways to go low. It's why we're here. That's a promise, not a promo.
After Advil.
Let's dive in.
But what about your back?
It's fine.
Before Advil.
Advil Dual Action fights pain 2 ways. Advil targets pain at the source. Acetaminophen blocks pain signals. Advil Dual Action.
Division rivals face off in a Tuesday triple header. Beginning at 1, see the Yankees face the Blue Jays. Then at 4, the D-backs tee off against the Padres. Followed by Brewers, Cubs at 9. Spring training action Tuesday on MLB Network.
Back here in Angels camp, the Angels coming off a 73-89 season. Phil Nevin relieved of duties. He'd been the manager for a year plus. New skipper aboard the Angels this year. Ron Washington is back in the saddle. Ron, congratulations on getting the job, first of all.
Well, thank you so much, and I'm very happy to be able to lead again.
Yeah, have you? It's been 10 years. Did you think you'd get another shot?
I hope I did. I never doubted that it may happen, but in this game of baseball, you never know. But I hope I did. I kept myself relevant. When I left Texas, I didn't leave the game. I stayed in the game, so I made a difference, and that's all I ever want to do is make a difference. And the opportunity presented itself here.
Well, you were an integral part of that Braves coaching staff, and I think everybody in the game knew how important that staff was. Give me something, or maybe the foremost thing that you learned working with that group and all that success that you had.
Well, going there for the first time in 17, they were young. We're talking about 18 and 19-year-old kids, the same group that won the World Series. So that's the most important, being able to be patient with those young kids and teach the game of baseball. Constantly teach the game of baseball, because they get to the big leagues so fast and they're here on their talent. And now, in order to stay, you got to really know the game, and that's what we're doing.
Moving from one young team to another young team, the opportunity that presented itself here, it was clear that this team was in need of somewhat of a culture change, from the pitching to the defense to the base running. What really stood out to you about this squad, and what are y'all looking to make changes with?
Well, what really stood out is the young pitching we have. Those guys have the ability to keep us in a ball game every single day when they take that rubber out there. And that's the thing that impressed me the most. Now we just have to get them to believe, and to believe we're trying to get them to do the things it takes to make that belief a reality. That's pound the strike zone, keep the ball in play, let the defense play behind you, because we are solidifying both the outfield and the infield. And, you know, we're going to get O'Hoppe for a full year. So, and he's upcoming. So the one thing that stood out to me was the pitching staff.
You have so many good players that we've been talking about, with like Zach Neto, Nolan Schanuel, Logan O'Hoppe, even Mickey Moniak's still a young guy, right? Joe Adell is a young guy. How much, I think we have an idea, and fans probably think, well, when they come up, these guys are ready. These are, you know, a 1-1 pick, a first-round pick. How much teaching is done with even players that have already been playing in the major leagues?
Constant, every single day. You got to teach every single day, simply because of what you started to say in the beginning about the youth. Yeah, they're young, they're talented, but they still got a lot to learn about the game of baseball. The little bitty things, the details that goes along with being a winner at this level. Those are the things that we have to teach every single day, and we will not let up. And I think we have gotten that message to those guys in that clubhouse.
Well, I know you have Bo Porter on your staff, too, but you took him from my staff. I hope you know that.
Yes, I do.
He's a big part of our team, too. You right?
That's a big move by Bo. To leave sitting next to you, to come out here and stand in the first base coaching box.
How can you say yes to that? Imagine. Right. Congratulations to you. Again, best of luck this year.
Thank you.
Good luck on what could be a very promising year. Talking about Nolan Schanuel, let's get a little more Jim Callis with Nolan right now.
Here with Nolan Schanuel. Thanks for joining us, Nolan. First player from the 2023 draft in the big leagues. Only 22 games in the minors before you get called up to Anaheim. Obviously, when you get drafted by the Angels, you know they have a reputation for promoting guys quickly. Chase Seth, Zach Neto, etc. Did you ever think, hey, I might be up in the big leagues in a month after I sign?
I wouldn't say it didn't cross my mind, but because it crossed my mind almost every week. But I know the Angels have like a history with the fast track. And I talked to Neto before, right after I got drafted, talked to Chase, talked to O'Hoppe, and just like kind of had a sense a couple times that they were moving me quick. Was in rookie ball for 3 days, was in low A for 2 days, then double A for 2 weeks. So it was it was crazy. Once I got the call, I was definitely surprised.
Talking to scouts about you, I think the thing that always stands out the most is your approach. You had a crazy, I think it was like 71 to 14 walk to strikeout ratio at Florida Atlantic. Even in the big leagues, you walked more than you struck out. How did you develop that approach?
It all starts in BP. If I swing at a ball or I take a strike, I kick myself out of the cage. I keep it really strict, whether it's practice or a game. I try to emulate whatever I'm doing in practice and push it to the game. So I think that helped a lot. I started that my freshman year of college, and ever since that, it got extremely better.
You're here in spring training, you know, different than most guys fresh out of the draft. I mean, you're penciled in the number 2 spot. You know, you're breaking camp with the team. What are you working on at the plate? Are you doing anything to try to tap into some more power, or is it more my approach is my approach and the power will come naturally?
Yeah, coming out here working every day, trying to unlock some more power. Just kind of getting a feel for everything, getting a feel for the wood bat, getting a feel for just little things in my swing, just adjusting every day. Whether it's machine, whether it's live at-bats, just kind of working with what I got.
Back here with Chris Young, time for Fearless Predictions. You know, I think we both like what we see here, right? Emerging. But it is a tough division, right? Astros are still elite. Mariners are going to pitch very, very well. Texas Rangers are the defending World Series champs. So give me the number. Like, where do you think the Angels eventually land?
It's going to be tough for them. They are going to get better. I do believe in the process that Ron Washington has in place. They're going to run the bases better. They're going to pitch better. With that being said, they're going to get to 80 wins. In my opinion, 73 wins was a bad year for them last year. They will improve this year. 80 wins still won't get them in the postseason, but it is a good direction for them moving forward.
We arrived at our numbers independently. And it's funny, when you said 80, I was thinking I might go 80 or 82. So I'll be optimistic. I'll be and I'll go to 82 because I do believe, and yet, look, I don't think they make the playoffs, right? We're being a little more realistic. But I think the building blocks are there. I think this is how you create a sustainable winner, what they have here. And what has haunted this organization in the past is impatience, right? But I think there's a reason we come here, and even with Shohei Ohtani being gone, we're not even, you know, kind of obsessed with that. We're more obsessed with what we see on the field with these guys who are 26, 25, 23 years old that I think could be part of the future. So I'm going 82 wins.
Look, the team is in a good place. You can't, it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take a little bit of time, just like you said, but they're in the right direction.
All right, good stuff here. Again, looking forward to the future here for Angels baseball. And again, there's more playoff teams this year. They might find themselves like mid-season looking at the possibility up at that last playoff spot. Thanks for joining us here at Spring Training Camp. 30 clubs in 15 days for the Los Angeles Angels.